Can I steal you for a minute?
Steal you for a minute?
Can I steal you for a minute?
Welcome to Can I Steal You for a Minute, the reality dating recap podcast. My name is Indra Raj.
And I'm Mary Bianco.
And I feel like I'm like a little more relaxed in this position.
Yeah.
I moved my like camera angle because of the way my lamp is so that it's like shining on my face and not like on one side of it.
It's very well lit now.
And now I feel like I'm just like I have my feet up a little and
Just ready to pod.
I'm so relaxed.
I know.
I'm just loving it. I mean, I do feel relaxed. I feel like we don't have like a million things to cover today.
No, it was a much calmer week. Like just taking our time, watching The Bachelor, and then watching 2 episodes of Temptation Island only.
Which we dove in. My expectations were like on the floor, like below the floor.
Yeah.
I was just like, this may actually, before I even started, I was like, Mary, I don't even know if I want to watch.
Yeah, there was a moment during it where I texted you that I was like, and we'll get to it. I like paused the episode. I was watching with Ethan and we were both like, I don't know if we can do this anymore.
And then you're like, so this is going to be a just me show. Ethan will not be watching with me.
Yeah, I can't subject him to that. And we left it to you guys. I literally got through the first episode and Indra and I talked and we are like, okay, we're going to post memes.
Yeah.
And if they do well, we will keep watching it. And 100 of you liked it. And so then I had to keep watching.
And like you did a little poll, like, should we keep watching? And it wasn't like 100% said yes,
No,
but it was it was more yeses and nos. And I just feel like the show has put a lot of PR something behind it because they got Mark Wahlberg on the Vile Files.
Oh.
Which like Nick did a whole interview with him, which is like, you know, Nick doesn't need to watch shitty shows.
No. I don't know why Nick Viall became the go-to person for all reality shows like Bravo, whatever network. So,
yeah.
But if
he was kind of smart about it because like he started out as one of the first like Bachelor people to recap the show on a podcast. And then he just kind of like built out from there and like, I don't know. He has enough like celebrity and I guess he gives okay advice sometimes. And so people have deemed him as this like excellent interviewer.
Yeah.
Which he's not. He's not bad.
No.
But he's not like, I don't know. He's not as great as everyone thinks he is. So anyway, enough about him.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Temptation Island, but first we need to talk about The Bachelor Fantasy Suites, or overnights as Litia calls them.
Overnights, because she made it clear she was not having sex.
Right. And I need to be completely transparent. Like, I started watching this episode at 9:30 last
Oh my God.
night, and it was in bed. Like, we recently moved. We got a new TV in our living room, so we moved our old TV into our bedroom, which is like my favorite thing ever.
Ooh.
I highly recommend it to anyone, especially if you have kids. Like, just do something nice for yourself. So we were watching it in bed, and I just like, I made it through most of the episode, but I did have some like blackouts at the end.
I get that. I get that.
You may have to fill me in if there's like something that I just totally missed, but I'm pretty sure I saw all the important stuff.
Yeah, there's not much that goes on until Litia's date, really. Like, I remember getting through Zoe's date, and Zoe was second, and we had 50 minutes left in the episode. And I was like, so they're spending almost half on one girl. So, I mean, it was fine. Like,
it kind of went how we thought it would go.
Yeah, it was the exact order we thought. Like,
well, actually, I did have some questions about if Litia would go home this episode because of the fantasy suite drama, but I don't know. Should we go through all the girls? Should we start at the beginning?
Let's start with Juliana. They're cute together. Like, I think Grant is just suffering from not having enough time. Like, if this was like the last one-on-one date before hometowns, they'd be perfectly heading off towards getting engaged.
Right.
It just feels like they're just getting to like the cozy part of being boyfriend and girlfriend, as they're calling it, and the engagement is tomorrow.
The engagement is tomorrow. And I also feel like Juliana is not really ready.
No,
I
don't think so.
Like, I don't really think Grant is either. Like, the more I go into this, like, did you notice? they're cute enough together, but I don't really this episode like really started to kind of show the cracks in the porcelain in terms of their connection. Like all of their conversations felt like they were almost scripted. Like
Yeah.
they were very like, these are the things I like about you, and these are the things I like about you, and oh, we like each other so much. It was so like robotic, actually, in a way. And I was just like thinking about like Joey's season at this point, and like all the body language between him and Kelsey, and all the kind of like just you could just like feel the connection between those two, and like the silly banter and things like that. Like, I just didn't really feel all that stuff felt really forced with Grant and Juliana. And it's not that I don't think that that stuff can grow with them, but like you said, I feel like they're being forced into this like place of intimacy that they're just not quite at yet.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
I think it's just like zooming forward. And I also feel like Grant gave us they both gave us like hints at not being ready. If you have trauma from being cheated on, I don't understand it coming on this show. Like because
but it's like every girl.
Every time it happens, and like I do feel bad, but I also think like her being like, I'm a little bit broken, and Grant saying, well, that's what love is for. Love is to fix you.
Oh my God. That line stood out to me.
Because neither of them understand that like that's not what a significant other is for.
like bro, that is like not it. Like,
no,
love is probably like 5% of a long-lasting relationship working. Maybe 10%.
And if you are going to rely on your partner to fix you, you're not bringing all the pieces that you need to. Like, your partner can build you up when you're down. Your partner can support you as you go through a hard time. Like, you can talk about past trauma with your partner and they can help you move on, but you ultimately have to fix yourself.
Right.
And this whole love is enough to fix us thing is just going to set them up for failure in a really big way.
Right. And it's just like, honestly, this is where the like Chris Brown comment comes back. Like, there's all these like one-liners to like live life by that I get from Grant. Like, everybody deserves grace and love fixes everything. Like, I came away from this episode, and this is going to sound like very mean. I don't mean it that way, but I think Grant is like he's a little simple in the way that he thinks about like love and relationships. Like, and I think he has the capacity to grow from where he is, but he just, every episode, he seems more and more immature to me.
Yeah, I think he wants to put it in this like neat little package. Like, I think his parents' relationship was so messy that he's like, I just want to be able to wrap up love and be like, this is what it looks like and this is exactly what it's going to feel like. And I am feeling this. I am feeling this. That like there's no room for the mess of it and the uncomfortableness. And I think that's holding him back from actually getting to know these girls. And I think they're matching his energy in a lot of ways. And even with Litia, we'll get to what he said to her after, I just don't see it yet. I don't feel it. I'm hearing a lot of like words of affirmation, like, but I don't, like you said with Joey and Kelsey, we like could see it. And Joey didn't tell Kelsey he loved her before Fantasy Suites, but like if they woke up from that night and we knew they were in love, like it was over.
You're right.
The breakfasts were so stiff and weird, and like,
and again, all these like, oh, I just feel so comfortable with you, oh, you're everything that I've been looking for, oh, like that. It's just there's no substance behind it. And it's like, yeah, I mean, this is where we are, because like you actually don't know these women.
No, you don't know them.
Like, I like, if you know any one of these three, it's maybe Litia. And I do think that like he does have a little bit more with her, but so it's a combination of him like not having enough time with the women, him sort of like creating this universe where, oh, love is so simple and this is all the things that you need, and check, so we're good, we can get engaged, without like diving a little deeper. And it's just like, it's creating this really weird atmosphere that I'm just like, honestly, it's like kind of boring.
It was a really, really boring episode.
It was.
Until with about 20 minutes left. And I don't always think it is. Like, looking at, seeing Daisy and Rachel come to give advice. They were good people to get, because though...
What?
Kelsey and Joey seemed so clear to us, he still was like giving his attention to the two of them. And then,
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, seeing Daisy again, not in a Daisy sour cream commercial.
Yeah.
Because they make her look a shining star in those commercials, which, like, she's very pretty and, like, radiant. But she was, like, I was reminded of, like, how kind of flat she is in terms of her, like, affect and also just, like, she doesn't jump off the screen when she's, like, on screen, like, and that happened in this conversation. I feel
Because
like,
I think
as
like
well.
Juliana does. Like Juliana has
Right.
so much personality that it's like a hard contrast. Like, thank God they didn't pair Zoe and Daisy together because it would just be like two shy girls like sitting there not knowing exactly what to say. Like,
Well, also, like, I'm like, what advice is Daisy giving exactly? Like, she was so fucking weird and awkward with Joey in the end.
Yeah.
Like, she was not actually a great kind of final contestant. She was sort of like more in her element, I feel like, in the earlier parts of the season. And then it sort of like was like, oh, what are you doing here type of situation towards the end.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, from that sense, I'm like, I think it's a weird choice to bring her back, but she is like, people like her. They want to see her on the screen again. So it does like bring a little bit of that intrigue to the episode, I guess.
I feel like they should have brought all runners up or all winners. It's really weird to pair Litia with a winner because like the perspective is obviously so different. I mean, they did it because Zach had sex with Gabby and it broke Katie's heart, you know, to hear that. But
I had actually forgotten about that.
I didn't even watch that season.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I was boycotting because Zach is
this,
so
like,
boring.
intense jungle scene. Like, oh my gosh. It all came flooding back to me, actually, like when we saw that. But yeah, I mean, it was a choice. Like, also Rachel, I love Rachel.
Yeah.
And like, I was very happy to see her again. But she was like not very far. Like, she got to hometown.
No, she went to Fantasy Suites.
Wait, she did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, see, but they didn't have, I don't know. Their connection was such a friend vibe to me. I feel like that it was also sort of a weird choice, but maybe made sense for Zoe.
Yeah. I think that it's a similar thing that Zoe was about to go through where it's kind of like he has this other connection with the other two where he's legitimately kind of torn between the two of them, but you're just kind of here and like don't get your head, you know, get in your head about that. Enjoy your last couple of days, but like
just have fun.
This is your last couple of days. Yeah.
Like you're leaving. And I mean, also like we give Juliana the ATV date.
Yep.
We give Litia the zipline date. And
Zoe gets silent yoga.
Zoe gets silent yoga. Like, it was just a cruel joke. And I mean, you know, the producers were like, let's not let them talk.
They don't know a thing about each other. And then they go to a silent date where they can't talk at all. Like, Zoe looked
And this is like their first date.
Yeah. Zoe like definitely knew what was going on and was pissed. Like she.
Yeah.
Not just because she had extensions in and she's like upset by the extension. She was like, this sucks.
No, it totally sucked. And like, it was whatever it was. I mean, and then their date portion, even like, it wasn't even like a romantic setting. It was like they were in some like producer room.
Yeah.
Like sitting on some weird couch with bad lighting.
Yeah. And then
talking to each other.
They didn't even get like a in the room breakfast. Like after they spent the night together, they like go for a walk on the beach. And it's like it was just very weird, but I think Zoe didn't know how far along the other girls were at all. And, you know, I do ultimately think it caught her off guard what happened, but
that Grant like didn't choose her?
Yeah, that Grant didn't choose her.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of like, I feel like when the women are in these situations or the contestants are, they think like, oh, well, there's always a chance that it's me. Like when literally all the cards are stacked against you. Like Zoe did not have a chance.
No, she did not.
Even if they had a real connection, like she never had a one-on-one. They then had this last one-on-one where they didn't get to talk for the whole day. I mean, they probably ended up talking with each other for like less than an hour before they went into the room.
Oh, for sure. And then it's like they're just getting to know each other sitting in bed. I don't know.
Do you think they had sex?
No, he said that he didn't have sex with anyone.
He did say that.
He said that, and I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let me look that up.
Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, it seemed like if he had had sex with Juliana, I would not have been surprised.
No, because I thought that that would be most likely, but then in the morning they didn't look like all like post loved up, you know?
Well, yeah, it's always hard to know, but okay, so he did say they did not sleep.
Let's see.
He didn't sleep with anyone.
Grant.
Which makes me feel better about, because when he is having the conversation with Litia before they're deciding to go in the fantasy suite or not, and she's like, sex is off the table, and then he tells her he loves her.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that's like pretty fucked up to do if you just had sex with one of these other women, like literally 1 or 2 nights before. That would be really crazy. But okay, so I'm glad to hear that he like did not have sex.
I can't find where he said that, but maybe I saw it
I
on
believe
TikTok.
you.
I swear I heard it. So yeah, I think it would have just made things even worse. I think as is, and like we're like dancing on the elephant in the room of like what happened on the final date. I just think it would have been made. It's already so messy. Like his relationship is doomed. Like I don't
with
think,
Litia.
Yeah, with either. Like I feel like
Yeah.
because he so confidently told Litia he loves her, and then
then he's like, should I leave with her?
yeah, and then in the morning it's kind of like, oh, I shouldn't have said it. I'm falling for someone else. So like he like hedges, and then it ends up this whole other issue.
Well, okay, what's the other issue?
That he's like saying that he's falling in love with someone else after he said I love you.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I did see that. I was like, is there something else that I missed?
No, that
But,
was it.
Okay, that's like the thing.
No, you didn't
but
miss
Litia
anything
doesn't
important.
know that yet.
No. So if she's watching at home.
Right. Like, I don't, if Litia and Grant end up engaged, there's a high probability that they've already broken up by now.
Yes.
Because of any number of things, including him actually understanding like what the Mormon thing is and how that could actually be. Also, do you think Litia has ever had sex?
It sounds like it, yes. Because it sounds like she was just saying that the way she talked about taking it off the table, and she was like, I just need to feel a certain level of commitment before I do.
Right.
It kind of sounded like she had, but she was monogamous with that person when she did.
Right. And we did remember from the start of the season where she like really lost it talking about her ex and not being totally over that.
I totally forgot about that.
I'm just remembering it now, and I remember being like, whoa, that's like a bit of a red flag in terms of things, her readiness, I guess.
Yeah.
And I mean, things could change in this, 6 to 8 week process or whatever, but I don't know. There was like a darkness that I felt around their whole time together on this episode.
It just wasn't like sinking. And maybe I didn't pay much attention to the music, and maybe I should have. Like, it just feels doomed. Like,
Yeah, it didn't feel very romantic to me.
No, and it.
Like. She seemed really anxious the whole time, probably because she was kind of worried about this whole thing. And it was an interesting choice to say, I don't want to know what happened with the other women.
I got that, and I respected that like more than people who are like, well, if you did it already, it's over. Because I think she was scared that she was going to get an answer that she couldn't come back from.
But it's like, when's the right time to learn that information?
She was saying after they were engaged is when she told Katie she wanted to know.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's irresponsible. Like, I don't think we should be getting engaged without talking about these things that are make it or break it questions.
I feel like maybe she was deciding not to make it a deal breaker, because that's kind of like what Katie said, was like Katie was promised that he wouldn't sleep with anybody, and then she found out that he did. And she was like, I see so much potential with him, so in order to get engaged, I kind of have to like push this part out of my mind. And so I think that was Litia also saying that like, if she wants to get engaged to Grant, she just doesn't want to know what happened, but she's also not going to like hold what happened against him anymore.
Right. But I don't think that's real.
No, I
like so I'm kind of like, it still feels irresponsible to me. I don't know. Like, I like Litia. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's poised. I think she has great qualities. I don't really know her, I guess.
No, me neither.
None of us do. But I still think she's figuring a lot of shit out. Like, I don't think she's ready for an engagement. I know she, like, wants to start having kids ASAP. So that's part of it. But I'm just like, well, that was another thing, was like the kids' timeline.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I'm 31 within 2 years is what I'm thinking of. And Grant's 28 at this point.
Yeah.
You could tell he was panicked about that.
I think more than the religion, because again, Grant doesn't fully understand what is involved in
Yeah,
being
he
a
doesn't
Mormon. I think that more than that, the timeline is what's gonna pull him away from Litia, because I don't think he's with her.
No. Do you think he's with Juliana?
No, I Juliana's demeanor on social media has changed throughout the season. And
Okay, in what way?
so it started off like so bubbly, very, very excited. And then recently it's been a little bit like drinking while watching the episodes and,
okay,
you know, doing TikTok sounds that are like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. And
okay.
So I think that they got engaged, but I think it's over.
Okay, so you think he doesn't choose Litia?
No, I don't think he does. I think because of the timeline.
Because he like, yeah. I mean, that's like yeah. I mean, the religion stuff is very real, like, because that affects every like ounce of their life together.
Yeah, but neither of them are thinking about that at all.
No. Well, I think Litia probably is, but he doesn't even know.
No.
But like he does understand and can grasp like how big of a deal it is to start a family.
Yeah.
And he's like, for sure, not ready for that. Like, I don't know. I just don't. I hate to say this because I was really rooting for Grant when we started the season, but just like the way things have gone and how it's all going, I'm just kind of like, I don't think he was the best choice for Bachelor.
Yeah, I don't know who else they could have picked. So I feel like out of the lot of Jen's men, he was like by far the best, but like her men were just so terrible that we did end up with someone who is ultimately probably a good person, but
definitely
has like very immature beliefs about the world and wants to get engaged in the sense that I agree with coming from the show. Like, I think if you do get engaged on the show, you should treat the first 3 years of your engagement as still dating. And then like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Repropose, as so many of them have done. Like Kelsey and Joey are not rushing to plan their wedding. Charity and Dotton are not really rushing to plan their wedding.
No.
But like, I think he also picked somebody that like kind of like Joey with Lexi, where it's somebody who's like, I do have this timeline that I kind of am on and I need you to join me on it. And he just is not prepared for that.
No. And I mean, and that's okay. But I also think he's just like not quite ready to be married.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like, I don't know who would have been better. And I'm like, we need to get some better dudes on this show. Like, I think casting, I know men are scum, but can we find, like, there have been decent men on this show. Joey.
Yeah.
We love Joey. He's not the only one out there. Dotton.
Yeah.
If Dotton hadn't got engaged to Charity, like, he would have been such a, like, mature. I think what I want from a bachelor is like someone who's really ready to get married and who like actually can like engage in like real conversations.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that Grant can't. It's just that I think he just cuts it off at a certain point because there's a lot of platitudes that he throws in. He's kind of a platitude king, and that only gets you so far. It kind of keeps you surface level, actually, always with whoever you're with if you're constantly throwing those things out there. And it's like, now that I'm thinking back on the season, like we've seen him sort of like throw these platitudes out in all of these difficult conversations. And at first I took it as like, oh, he's so like kind and understanding and he's really this and that. But it's like, that only holds so much weight. Like you have to then back it up with some more like digging and more like I don't know, just thinking through it a little bit more with the other person. And I think he's sort of like, well, let me say this nice line and then it's fixed and we're good.
Yeah. I think he's still kind of scared to be like fully vulnerable on TV, which makes a lot of sense.
Totally.
But I think that he's fine to share these facts about his life, but not actually delve into how they make him feel. And I
Right.
think he's not willing to have upsetting conversations with any of the girls. And
Right.
that
Like
got-
really go there.
yeah, that gets to a point where it's so nice to talk about how much you love Litia, but why haven't we talked about the downside of being from two different religions? And like with Juliana, it's nice to say that you'll fix her, but maybe you should be pushing her on if she's really ready or if this is something that
Right.
she still needs time to work through. And I think he
Yeah.
just wasn't comfortable going there yet.
That's so true. Like, because even when he talks about his own experience, it's like he's super vulnerable up to a point. And there are like certain things about his life that are difficult that he's comfortable talking about and kind of laying out there as facts. But like, we don't often hear, and you know, I don't want to say he can't go there, but like, at least from what we've seen, he's not like digging deeper on those things very much.
No, not at all.
It's kind of like, well, these are hard things that have happened to me in my life and things that I don't want. And that's good. And that's great. And that's a lot more than a lot of people are able to do at his age and level of maturity and all that. But it just needs to go further. And it's like, I don't even really want to fault him for that. Like 28 is like pretty young.
Yeah.
And like, it's okay that he's not there, but it's like not that fun to watch.
No, I agree. Like I feel like we have to cast an older bachelorette, and the
Right.
men that come to meet her have to be older. Like I want to see,
And it can't be a Claire Crawley.
No.
Like, I'm sorry, but that being the test case for an older bachelorette is like such bullshit to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Claire Crawley is like, she's not like the picture of like the most mature woman in her late 30s.
No, she's fully insane. So I feel like
you said it. Thank you.
I feel like we need someone who's like 35 years old who maybe they're divorced, maybe they're in this like sweet spot of they want something serious but they just haven't done it yet for whatever reason.
Right.
And
They know themselves. They've done some like
Yeah.
serious therapy. Like,
yeah. And I think, you know, we can't cast 27-year-olds to be, I don't know, on the show. It's better than when we used to have 22-year-olds. Like that, you know, that was crazy. But
I mean, it is like a step up from that, I guess, because like, you know, Latia's 31.
Yeah.
Like, so you think Litia might be the next Bachelorette?
I think there's a chance. And I posted a meme about it that was like, Litia, you know, they had her meet with a winner. Either she's it or she's the Bachelorette. And Katie commented like the meme of Homer Simpson like sliding back through the bushes.
Katie Bigger?
Katie Bigger.
Oh, shit.
And she was on this trip to Montana that
right.
Litia was on. So I'm kind of like, I'm trying to see if she
Is
was
she
fun.
joining this cast of winning women from the what an interesting season that would be.
Yeah.
Actually, because of the cultural element. And the only way it would be interesting, Bachelor producers, listen to me now, is you have to force the conversation about religion
Yeah.
and culture and how that would actually work, because you're not getting 25 Mormon men. Just know you're not going to do that.
And like someone commented, oh, Litia's clearly, I forget the word for it, like not lapsed or like not practicing, but it's clearly like someone saw her as just being culturally Mormon, not like actually
Right.
going to the Mormon church.
Interesting.
And so
okay.
I would love to hear that from Litia, that like
I know.
culturally being Mormon is very important for her, but she doesn't go to service and she doesn't follow X, Y, and Z rule. But we didn't get that.
I know. I am curious to know more about her because she is very intriguing.
Yeah.
And she is like literally a Disney character. I mean, down to like the size of her waist,
Impossible.
which is actually non-existent.
It's impossible.
I'm like, how does this woman look like this? I don't understand.
It's almost like to the point where like Grant is so handsome, but I'm like,
Latia's better looking than
it's
you.
actually not even really close sometimes when you look at them, and it's so bizarre.
It's wild. It's really wild. Like and I mean, I imagine if that's how she looks on screen, she's probably like unreal in person.
She needs
you
to be with
know?
someone famous. Like I feel like she should date
Right.
like an F1 driver who's like really rich for some reason. I don't know.
Well, maybe they could cast I mean, they've casted celebrities on the show before.
Yeah.
Like, usually in the lead role, but I mean, there's always room for more. And I have to say, like, in this world, there's so many. It doesn't have to be, it could be B-C list people.
Yeah.
Maybe even a D-list person, whatever. You know, they're giving themselves the time and runway to find the right person. I know last week we were saying, like, maybe they'll pluck someone from the beach after this season airs. And maybe they will. I mean, I think maybe they're not, maybe a decision has not been made yet.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that probably not. And I don't think that all the beach decisions have even been made. So
Right.
it'll be interesting. Sorry, I'm yawning so much. Oh my God.
No.
We're not even recording that late. This episode was
I
just
know.
such a snooze.
Oh, it was such a snooze. Yeah, this was a boring episode. I fell asleep during my favorite part of every episode is the preview for the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I fell asleep during that. I mean, we kind of know it's going to be a dumpster fire. We'll have an after the final rose. Maybe they'll probably announce like the start date of Bachelor in Paradise. And they'll probably introduce us to at least some of the cast that's going to be there.
Yeah, they'll probably have 4 or 5 of them in the audience. Yeah, I got so scared during the episode because at the end, after the rose ceremony where Zoe gets sent home, like big surprise.
Right.
I think everyone saw that coming. They show Grant going to talk to his parents. And I was like, oh my God, is this a 3-hour episode? I'm going to kill somebody. And it cut off
Yeah.
after the initial bit of the conversation. But I was so scared. I was heading into like the finale without knowing
Oh my
it.
gosh. Also, new information, or I didn't realize that Grant's dad is like actively in rehab right now.
No, me neither.
And that he like wants to be near him to support him in that way. Like that's kind of big.
Yeah, that's
actually
a big nice thing about Grant. And like
right.
he's living up in New Jersey away from his usual life in
Right.
Houston while his dad is going through this.
Right. And Litia got excited about living in New York potentially.
She did. I don't think he's talked about where to live with anyone else. At least it didn't come up.
He's done a lot more of everything with Litia.
Yeah.
Which like makes sense. Just like time wise.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, I think maybe he does choose Juliana and they've broken up and we're going to like learn about the aftermath of their relationship.
Yeah, in which case, like, Godspeed to everybody after the final rose next week. It's going to be kind of brutal.
Whew. Yeah, I'm here for it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Ready. Okay, anything else about that?
No, I mean, that's really it. Like, I felt low energy talking about it just because it was such a low energy episode.
So let's pivot here to Temptation Island, which for those of you who may be OG listeners, I did mention that Temptation Island was my first foray into reality dating television back when I was in high school.
Yeah.
So this is like 2001, 2002. Like I remember watching the show on Fox every Monday or whatever it was. I had one friend, shout out to Odessa, who watched it too. And we would call each other right after the show to talk about it. So now you're that friend, Mary.
Yay.
I've always had a passion for recapping reality dating
The
TV.
OG recap was just over the phone as opposed to like...
Right. And like Mark Wahlberg, like he's been on my radar for a while because like the Chatty Broads, who are no longer a podcast, but I used to listen to them a lot. Jess and Becca, who was on Ari's season, they loved him and had him on a couple times because, as we can see from these first 2 episodes, this man is doing the most.
Oh, yeah. He's like a real host.
He's a real host with good advice.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I was like wanting to stand up and slow clap during this bonfire situation with the men.
Yeah. And I mean, multiple people feel that way. Someone commented on our post being like, I've been singing Mark's praises for years. I'm so glad that he has like a full-time show. And then another friend DM'd us being like, oh, you have to watch his first 2 seasons on HBO. He's like the best part of the show. But it seems like he's gotten like some counseling training since then because it feels like he's being more empathetic since his first 2 seasons.
Okay. So this is the 3rd season of the reboot then.
Yeah.
Wait, it was on HBO? Okay, that's wild.
Yeah.
So now it's over at Netflix. And I mean, when Mary started watching on Sunday and I was debating, am I going to watch this? Well, one, the post was performing well.
Yep.
And then I noticed it was number 3 on Netflix TV shows.
Yeah,
Which is like, that's pretty high.
Yeah, it really got the people talking.
Right. And the production value, I always come to this now because I think it's so important to like the viewer experience is like the vibe of the show. And like I was going into it kind of expecting like an F-Boy Island, which was like so low budge and so eye roll because of that in a lot of ways. This was, the filming is like a little bit more, the whole thing just has more of a serious vibe, I feel like.
Yeah, I think it's at least trying.
Right.
I think it's hard to find couples who'd be willing to go through something like this without having the men be horrible. And like 3 out of 4 of them are the biggest douchebags we've ever had on TV. And like, that's saying a lot for what we just went through with Love is Blind. But like,
right. Oh, and by the way, everyone, we're only talking about the first 2 episodes of the season. So that's as far as we've gotten.
Yes.
But go on.
But it's enough to see these men. What happened before the show is enough to see that 3 out of 4 of these men like are really shitty. Like,
right.
And Lino seems to be kind of the only one in the opposite situation where he feels like he's like chasing Alexa a little bit.
Right.
Even though I think he took what she said the wrong way, but we can talk about that later.
Oh, totally. That was manipulative on the show.
For sure.
Yeah.
Grant, Brian, and Brian and Ty.
I was having trouble with that too.
I kept saying Brian and Ethan was like, no, it's Brian. And I was like, I don't believe you. And then I was wrong.
It was Brian. And Tyler.
And Tyler are some of the nastiest bitches I've ever seen on TV.
Okay. Anyone who's watching, stay with me here. Tyler is Tom Sandoval 2.0.
Yes.
They kind of look similar. They have the smarmy hair. He's like a blonde version of Tom.
Yeah.
They even have similar voices. Their affect is the same. And potentially, like, they're just as shitty as one another. Even cheating in similar ways.
Yeah. If you give a guy like this an inch to blame something on his girlfriend, he's gonna blame the rest of his life on her, exactly like Tom Sandoval. Like, I guess we could just go couple by couple. We can talk about Taylor and Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler does not have a job. It seems like he models here and there. Taylor pays for their house. She pays for their bills. She buys their food. She cleans the house.
And he doesn't put the toilet seat
down. And he thinks that all that and her bringing up the toilet seat is such a grave offense that he can't wait to dive into this experience. He was just waiting for permission.
Oh, my God. And I mean, it's like, at first I was like, when he explained his job situation, I was like, oh, like he's getting these modeling jobs that are paying his bills.
Yeah.
But it's clear that that is not what's happening. Like he's freeloading off of Taylor.
Yeah. He's short. He's not making a massive career being a male model. Like that's just not.
No, like I'm sure he looks great in certain pictures shot in a certain way. But it's no, like he's not going to be like walking runways in Milan and shit, you know, like this man is, yeah. And I was just like, you know, I can be down with you not working very much if you're still paying your bills, but you're not. And you're freeloading off of your girlfriend who's, if she was okay with that, that'd be one thing, but she's not.
No, and you cheated on her on top of everything else.
Within a month. Of being exclusive.
And I feel like that might be the only time he got caught. Like
Right. Totally. 100%.
Yeah. He was just looking for a reason to cheat on her and go into this experience. And that's what he did.
Yeah. I mean, he, out of all the men, has developed like a real connection with someone like so fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With such ease.
Yeah.
And that's a red flag. Like, you got to go into this, like, you got to, like, that says a lot. When you are able to connect with someone so quickly, it says a lot about your connection with your current girlfriend and also where your head's at in terms of commitment.
Yeah.
To that person, like, or just in general. Like, if you can jump that quickly into this whole situation, the girl that he's interested in is named Kay. Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we are. And like, I don't know what Taylor is going to see, but whatever she sees is going to be a lot more than what she's been doing on her side.
Yeah.
And I would be very upset if I were her.
Yeah.
And that's about to be shown in the next episode.
Yeah. And you know, she sounds kind of like over him, like she's talking
Right.
it through, but he's ready to be in a relationship with someone else that he can like trick into thinking he's amazing.
Totally. Like, he gives a man-child just fully. And he's smarmy and gross, and he's Tom Sandoval.
Yep.
And I just can't unsee it now. And I don't know. Like, I don't know what Taylor's like. I can't really get a good read on her. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be friends with her in real life, but I don't want this for her. Like, I want her to find someone. It was sort of comical watching her unload on that guy.
I know. I know.
It was a lot. She basically like told her whole story with her boyfriend to this guy who's just sitting there like nodding.
He's
and
like,
yeah,
oh.
yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's what this whole experience will be for her, is just kind of like unloading on people and not really developing a connection. Like, I don't see her developing a strong connection with any of these guys, but to be fair, I haven't seen very much yet.
No, I don't think she will either. And I think it'll be kind of like, I think her journey will be more of, why do I accept this kind of treatment? Like, why am I okay with someone cheating on me and me still paying for everything? And I think that'll be more important. So we'll see.
Right. And then, okay, is there anything else to say about them? Probably not.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, should we go to Brianne and Ashley?
Shantae.
Who's Ashley?
Ashley's with
the other
Grant.
girl.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still learning everyone's
I know.
names.
They don't put them on the screen enough for me. Like, I'm like, they show it once and then it's gone. And I'm like, you are trusting too much that I took that in.
Yeah, I like, clearly, yes. Okay, of course, Shantae. Shantae and Brianne. This is wild. I don't know.
He cannot stop talking about how much he likes sex and how much Shantae is not enough of a freak for him. Like,
literally.
He said, I love threesomes and I've had a bunch. And Shantae told me she's not into that. And then like he sees her like barely dancing with a guy at a party. And he's like, wow, guess she can be like that for everyone else but me. It's like what?
I got the vibe that he like liked seeing her dance with another guy.
Oh, maybe
a little bit. Or maybe that was something else I was paying attention to. I'm already forgetting, but I feel like he like clearly wants Shantae to welcome other people into their bedroom on a regular basis. Not only does Shantae clearly not have interest in that, Brianne keeps saying that she's just not very sexual in general.
Yeah.
Which I am just like, this is a situation that can be worked through in couples. Like, sexual desire and things can change throughout a relationship. To see him, and they haven't been together that long, him just saying so clearly that he's like hypersexual and she's not like meeting him there. Like, I just that alone, I'm like, I don't see this working.
No, because he also doesn't seem like the person where like she could safely express that she's not feeling, you know, like being intimate, and then he would like help her work through it. Like, he seems like he just wants someone that is going to be down to go for it without any preparation or conversation. And like, that's not what having a girlfriend is going to be like most of the time. And so I think he wants it like both ways, where he wants someone who will be like his wife at home, but then is like a secret freak and needs no prompting to get into it. And
no, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a moment where he was speaking with the girls in the villa about how he feels about Shantae. And I actually thought he said a lot of really wonderful things about her.
Yeah.
Like,
but he started with she can cook.
Okay. That was not wonderful. That was the first thing he said, which is like, whoa. And yeah, he talked about like homemaker stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got into like some more emotional aspects about her and like all these like wonderful qualities that he has that he just like really appreciates. And he was detailed and he really seemed to like mean it.
Yeah.
And I do think he loves her.
Yeah.
Like, I do think he deeply loves her and he knows that she's like a good person and good for him. But like, maybe just this romantic connection, I don't know if it's going to last, given that he seems literally obsessed with the sexual piece of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Like,
agree.
I think that's going to be an issue for them forever.
Yeah, they're just like a total mismatch on how much of a priority that should be. And it doesn't seem like he's
Right.
willing to compromise it. Like, it seems like, oh, she'll come around to the threesome. And it's like, that's kind of something you do or don't want to do. Like,
And she said, I don't want
wanna
to do that.
it. And like, I respect that. Like, that's a big thing to ask of somebody, is to bring someone else into your bedroom. And like,
Right.
like you said, if he seems like he wants it with some kind of regularity, that it's just they're not compatible, and that's going to be a sad breakup. And I feel like he's going to do it through being physical with other women here.
Right. And like, I definitely do not want to see Shantae agreeing to that if she's not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very intimate situation. Like, these aren't just like small things.
No.
That when it comes to like compromising, when it comes to sex and stuff like that type of intimacy, like safety is like very important. And it's not that I don't know how she would feel, but like if she doesn't want to and then she feels like she has to, like that is a icky feeling.
Yeah, that's upsetting.
It's really upsetting. And I really like her. Like, I don't really know anything about her, but I kind of like her. She seems very like calm and collected.
Yeah.
I don't see any of these women connecting with any of the men yet.
No, I don't know if they will. Like, I feel like they're going to have
Right.
like fun, but none of them are going to, like, I think that the journey is going to be more like female empowerment. Like, we don't have to put up with this bullshit kind of thing versus
Right.
like, oh, I've
Right.
met someone else who like who is so great for me. And I think that's very emblematic about how men and women operate in these situations a lot of times,
Right.
where the men are going to explore through like physical intimacy with other people, and the women are like going to get to know themselves better and realize that they deserve better.
Which, like, yeah, we'll get to the bonfire scene,
Mm-hmm.
which is sort of interesting in how they sort of blatantly point that out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have Lino and Alexa.
Yeah.
Their meet cute is kind of adorable.
Yeah.
Like the gym story.
It was pretty cute.
It is cute. And you're right. Lino is like the only guy who seems like he is not a total asshole.
No, he was like he did like some weird flexing when like the girls were picking out new people. Like, he was like, the guys walked out and he was like, oh, they got small dicks, I can tell. I was like,
Oh,
who put you up
my-
to that, Lino? Like,
Oh, yeah, that was Lino. Okay.
it was bizarre.
He didn't need to say that.
No,
He was feeling threatened. I think that they're going to be okay.
I think that they'll be
actually.
together. Yeah.
They were like reaching for drama
Yeah.
to show him. I mean, we mentioned this before, but like Alexa's actual conversation with Ashley was about how she feels like she's always dependent on men,
Yep.
including Lino, and that she needs to remind herself that she doesn't need him,
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. They left out the entire first part
Yeah.
and just showed her saying, I don't need him.
They didn't like show the part where she said, my goal is to just want to be with him, not need to be with him, which is such a
Right.
healthy thing to say.
It is.
And just
so self-reflective.
Made it sound like, well, fuck him, I don't need him anymore. It's like, no, she does need you. She doesn't want to need you. She knows she's self-sufficient. She just wants to get to the point where she just wants you and loves you.
Right. She's understanding that she has a codependent personality.
Yeah.
That is how she tends to be, that she, even in her previous relationships, like has trouble being without a partner.
Yeah.
And that like with Lino, she feels trouble not being codependent with
Yeah.
him. That's really what was happening.
Yeah.
And like the guys were so confused. They're like, she's the one who wants to get married. Like, why is she saying that? Blah, blah, blah. And like Lino seemed upset by it, which like maybe I would be too if I was seeing that. But it's
Yeah.
like, it just seems unfair for them to show that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Like, I think they had nothing else. Like, otherwise
Right.
she asked for a lap dance, and
It was such a joke.
Yeah.
Like she was so not, it was so unsexual. Yeah. I mean, there's not like a lot to say about them. I mean, I guess Lino is sort of holding on to this situation from the beginning of their relationship where she wasn't totally honest with him about the fact that she was kind of dating him and someone else at the same time.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I think that's hurtful. And I think they've been together for 3 years. So it's kind of like,
Right.
depending on when he found that out, it might still feel a little bit recent. But I think they both feel like they're in a situation where they're chasing the other. Like he feels like he's following her around everywhere. And she feels like she's always like asking him to be with her. And I think that they both just need to realize that they really do love each other. And there's no like needed pressure there.
No, exactly. And it does sound like they will settle down like when she gets this degree and opens her own practice or whatever.
Yeah.
Like she wants to theoretically, I would think, be in one place and not a traveling nurse anymore.
Yeah.
So that gives them some stability. And it's like all the like kind of issues that they have seem like they're totally surmountable.
I agree.
Like they can absolutely work through them, and they seem like reasonable people. They don't seem like
I'm kind of like,
fuckheads.
why did you guys come here? Do you think they tried out for the ultimatum and they told them to come here instead?
Oh, wow. Maybe.
Because they kind of
There's
seem more like an
probably-
ultimatum couple versus like
Right.
either of them want to be super raunchy on a beach. Like,
Yeah, there's probably a lot of cross-pollination between like who applies for what. And I'm sure Netflix is like pulling people
Different
from
shows,
other
yeah.
places. That's a good call, yeah. Yeah, I could absolutely see them on the ultimatum, but instead they're here. Which like this show is pretty wild in that like literally the only job of these men and women, the singles, is to steal these people away. It's like you don't even have to really like them.
No.
You just have to tempt them enough that they cheat on their person.
yeah, you are there as like a plot device. Like, you're not
Right.
a whole person. Like, and we can get to they were doing introductions of all of the singles. And when I texted Indra and just said, I don't know if I can do this anymore, a 25-year-old woman stood up in front of the group and said, my guilty pleasure is sucking dick.
She kind of like she did it and like she was like leaning over a little, like looking sexy to begin with, saying this shit. And I was like, I think everyone though, like even on the show, like was like, wow, this is a lot.
Well, I like felt like my mom being like, respect yourself. Like,
yes. Oh my gosh.
no one
like
sucking dick that much. It is not your guilty pleasure. Like,
no, like I want more for you.
me too.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's just like the prude in me that's like, don't say that on TV. Like,
That's
just
what I
don't.
said to Ethan. I said this. I literally was like my mom. I was like, this is out there forever. She's 25 years old.
You can't take
You
that
can't
back.
take it back. There's 22-year-olds on this show as like temptresses. I'm like, you cannot take this back.
No, you literally cannot. And I mean, I don't even remember which one that was.
I have no idea.
No clue.
That's how-
maybe that's her only line.
My God, I think so. That's like where.
Wait, okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do the people get eliminated? The singles? Like,
I saw something that seemed like they might because Mia,
Right.
who we were already following because she was on F-Boy Island, is one of the like singles.
Right.
And she posted something that was like, sorry, this is a mild spoiler, but like, does anyone care? Was like, when
No.
they vote me off the island. And it was like her pretending. So maybe they do. Maybe they vote singles
well,
off.
I mean, they must have to like pare it down at a
Yeah.
certain point.
Yeah.
Like, because there's going to be clearly people there no one's interested
Yeah.
in. Like if there's a 4-to-18 ratio, like,
Yeah.
they're going to be cutting people, which was kind of the situation on F-Boy Island
Mm-hmm.
too. Like the format of that show was just all over the fucking place. This is a little more simple, which is a good thing.
This format makes sense. There's a goal, like, and
Right.
I
Yeah.
just am like, at what point are we just, again, this is my mom coming out. It's like, at what point is this like just sex work? Because, and not that I don't have anything against sex work. I do think it should be
No.
legal. It just is funny that like you're sent into this house to try to have sex with somebody.
No,
and that's
literally.
your entire like ethos on the show.
Like not even to be in a relationship with them.
No.
Like if you don't leave with them, it's okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like
you're-
fine.
You're like just trying to break them up
Yeah.
from their partner.
You're like a roadblock to them being together, hopefully forever, in like a way that doesn't happen on the ultimatum because the other person also has like skin in the game.
Right. It's so weird.
It's bizarre. I mean, it's like fine. Everyone's obviously consenting adults and everyone will be,
Right.
influencers after. So they are going to get compensated in some form,
Right.
which is good. Like, I think everyone should get paid for their work. But it is just funny how it's like, it's similar to the polyamory conversation that we always have. It's like our society is so averse to polyamory and so averse to sex work. And here we are watching two morphed versions of it. And they're not getting compensated.
No, like it's weird. And I feel like this show is walking this weird line, and this kind of comes up with like the misleading clip of Alexa.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm jumping ahead to the bonfire because, and as we've already alluded to, like Mark Wahlberg holding these men accountable for what they're saying, not just asking questions, then asking follow-up questions and really pushing them on what they actually mean and what they maybe some other ways to consider what they're doing and how they should be thinking about things. And that's like truly something I have not seen on any of these shows before, so it's kind of like groundbreaking and like mature, surprisingly, in a way that I'm like not used to from these shows. But then it's coupled with this like extremely fucked up dynamic where you're actively trying to break up these couples, like so you have a good TV show, like playing misleading clip, having these women say their hobby is sucking dick. Like this is like it feels very like incongruous and like it's a little like I don't know how to digest it quite yet. Yeah. As a viewer.
I think it's like how we feel watching The Ultimatum. It's like, why would you put your partner through this if you actually do want to end up with them? It's like, because the path to being with someone that you care about is not sleeping with someone else and having it like hit you too late. Like, and I think that Grant is like a really good example of this mentality where so often men don't know what they have until they think it's going to leave, and then they put all this effort in and then regress and backslide, and then they put the effort back in and then regress and backslide and think that that's enough instead of actually being just a better person.
Grant is such a shithead.
He's such a shithead. And he's just like, I do not get it.
Like looks, like attractiveness, like maybe, I don't know. Yeah, he's all like one shade.
He's wearing makeup, I'm pretty sure. Like he's wearing concealer, so his face is like, he looks like a rubber doll. Like,
it's bizarre. Like
he's uncomfortable in his own skin too, so it's very hard to watch. Like he projects so much on other people and tries to pretend he's like so confident and cocky, but like just the way he holds his body, he's so uncomfortable, and it's hard to see.
I know. And so his girlfriend is Ashley.
Yeah.
And she gets the most attention from the singles off the bat.
Yeah.
And first red flag is how excited Grant was about that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess like you want your person to look like the hottest, but like not really. I don't know. There was something like, I'm not explaining this well, but it was creepy to me, even just that.
Yeah, I think that he was like up for competition when he was like so sure that Ashley wouldn't want anything to do with them. But then when she started enjoying some of the attention and he saw her ask someone on the date, he lost it. Like he was not cool with it anymore. Like, it's like,
especially that 22-year-old 6'7"
stud
dude.
Yeah. He lost it. And the boys were like, she picks Logan, who's like, I think is so cute. Might be a little bit of a douche, but like he's 22 years old, whatever. And the boys are like, oh, like this is like the highlight of their lives. They can't even get girls out of here. Like he's wearing an ugly color too. It's like,
wow,
that's all we
great
got.
digs.
Like,
you guys don't need to dig on this guy. Like he's gonna bury his own grave. We can already see. Like he's an immature prick who probably is like not. He's gonna do his job exactly the way. He's definitely not coming for like anything real from your girlfriend.
No, and it's like, Grant, you are fully capable of destroying your own relationship and have and will. Like it's not Logan's problem.
No, like Logan, I can guarantee you, is not going to be the issue here.
No.
And I don't know who Grant is going to connect with yet. Like, did they show? But like, it seems clear to me that he's going to end up like actually having some sort of real fling with
Yeah,
someone.
he's getting in the shower after somebody, but I don't know who he's with.
Right. Was that him? Did we see Breon do that too? Like, I feel
I
like
don't
there was a
know.
bathroom. Maybe it was someone else. I don't remember. But yeah, they showed a lot in like the season preview.
Yeah, well, they dropped all 10 episodes. So I guess if we wanted to know, we
Yeah,
could
we
know.
could have done it all, but we didn't have time.
And sanity, honestly. I think I would have I think I would have lost my mind. And just
no.
keep in mind, whenever you see these sexy dancing scenes, guys, there's no music.
Right.
So
Yes.
everyone is just grinding to total silence. So just keep that in mind to up the cringe factor as you watch.
Yeah, it's really, yeah, I felt like the dates also were like totally mismatched.
Oh, yeah.
Like the men get to go on a boat and the girls get to dance on a stage with no music.
Yeah. It's not even. And then Grant is already sitting with his arm around the girl that he picked. I can't remember her name.
Oh my God. I love how like they all, okay, so they all have their like ground rules and 3 out of the 4 couples are like no touching.
Yep.
Literally within seconds, the men are touching these
Of course.
women everywhere.
Constantly like holding their waist, grabbing butts, like having them lick things off of
Touching
them.
thighs, like everything.
Constant physical contact. And this is how the conversation goes. The girl goes, "What did you think when I put my wristband on you?" And he goes, "I don't know, that you were hot." And she goes, "Dead."
Like, I don't know. I mean, I think the only couple that has hope again is Alexa and Lena.
Yeah, everyone else I would be
Everyone else should break up.
100%. And the way that Taylor is reposting and Ashley are both interacting with our stuff,
Ooh.
because we're mostly making fun of their boys, I do feel like they're broken up. I'm worried there's a chance that Shantae and Breon are together. I really
Like,
hope not.
I just like, yeah, that's a tough one. Because I did like, I appreciate that those two really love each other.
Yeah.
Like, I think they do. But it's just like, again, back to the how far can love take you in the game of life and your relationship actually making it through the entire game. Like,
Not that far at all.
it doesn't take you that far.
No.
Like it's really about a lot of other things, and like a big one is just this whole like sexual situation.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like I think he needs to be with someone who's wants to have threesomes on the regs.
Yeah, and I think you can find those people through conversations,
100%.
but you're gonna really hurt somebody if you do it in an unethical way. So we will see.
I mean, you could see he was like already struggling to like not. I don't even know what. Like he's like ready to go. Like he would have had sex with like 5 of those women
100%. And I missed like my favorite line of the show was when all these women are walking in and he says to his girlfriend, "I don't care how fat their ass is, not tempting me." Why'd you say it? Why'd you mention that they have fat asses?
Some of the comments these people were making as the singles were coming, and I'm like, don't give all your cards away. Like, are you literally sitting here telling your girlfriend that that's who you like?
So quickly.
It was so weird.
And then God forbid the girls express interest. They're like losing their shit in the corner. Like, "Oh, his shirt is ugly."
Oh my God. I know. I mean, the only one who was cute was Logan.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's like this reality show, cheesy, handsome guy thing that I just don't really buy into. Like,
Right. It's not my vibe.
it's not my type. I don't find these men attractive.
No. And pretty high probability that the women don't really either.
No, because I think women are just not. These structures of these shows are so vapid not vapid. I mean, it is vapid, but it's like so flawed.
It is vapid.
Because the women are not going to interact with the group of tempting singles in the same way unless we're on like
Right.
Too Hot to Handle and you found
Right.
10 freaks who are all the same. Like,
Totally.
so many of the couples are there because the men won't commit. And so it's just going to be this mismatch.
Right. It's always going to be the same. And anyway, so we'll cover more of the show next week.
Yeah.
Remains to be seen, but we'll at least do 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more because they released the whole season. Like, I'm assuming anyone who's actually watching it is like probably
Binged.
going to be done with
Yeah.
it within a couple weeks. So we don't want to like be recapping it when no one is actually watching.
We're not going to put ourselves through that. Like,
Yeah, like we may speed ahead,
Mhm.
but we'll see. And then, of course, we'll be talking about the Bachelor finale next week.
Yeah.
Which, who knows? Like, I really don't know what to expect.
I have no idea.
I
think
which
I
guess
know.
is a good thing.
What'd you say?
You think? Yeah. I mean, I think you have some really good guesses.
Yeah, I think it's a Juliana engagement, Grant single. I think the only thing I'm like 100% certain on is we have a single Grant.
Okay.
It will be shocking and hard to watch if he has a fiance at the end of it.
I know. There's no way that ends. There's no way that he's engaged to someone and they're actually happy together.
No.
This happens every season, but there's just too much ammo this time on both sides.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just rough. Anyway, yeah. And we're also thinking of like maybe after we're through The Bachelor and Temptation Island doing some like where are they now episodes on all these franchises, because now we have like several years of Love is Blind. And there's updates all the time. Bachelor Nation, of course, and then Love Island universe is a whole freaking thing.
Yeah, it's a lot. Oh my God, did you see Sean Lowe's video?
No.
He got like horrifically attacked by their dog.
What?
Yeah, they got a boxer puppy a couple months ago, and this dog was like obsessed with Sean. Sorry to divert, but I just saw this today. Only wanted to be with Sean all the time.
Right.
Fire alarm starts going off in their house, and he's like trying to get it turned off, and it freaks the dog out, and the dog is like first biting his shoes and actually going through the shoe to his foot. And so he put his hands out to stop the dog, and the dog latched onto his arm. And he was bleeding so heavily, he thought the dog caught an artery.
Oh my God.
And so he had friends over. Catherine wasn't home with the kids. And the friends got like the dog like locked into the house, and his friends were outside, and he went to the hospital because he thought he was going to bleed out.
Right.
Gets back from the hospital. Catherine and the kids are home. The door ends up open somehow, and the dog gets out. And Sean is like panicking because he's like, I'm, over 200 pounds. I'm over 6 feet, and it's taking all my strength to fight this dog off. Like, if it gets to one of my kids, like, my kid is dead.
Oh my God.
And so in between the first two incidents, the first incident, he's like calling no-kill shelters because he's like, we can't have this dog in the house, but like, I love him. I don't want anything to happen to him.
Right.
And so he goes and finds the dog again, and the dog attacks him again. And like really viciously. Like his arms are just like torn up. So I don't know what actually ended up happening with the dog, but just like they were both, it was Catherine and Sean in the video, they were shook. It was really bad.
My God.
Yeah.
That is so tragic on like so many levels.
Yeah.
Like, oh God. But he's okay.
He's
like,
okay. He's okay. He has like stitches in his arms. Like, I think this was a couple days ago at this point since they made the video.
The kids are okay.
The dog didn't attack anyone besides Sean. But like Catherine is like shaking the whole video when he's talking about it.
Well, yeah, like, whoa. And there's just like no way you can prepare for that.
No.
Wow. Oh God. Well, so
they're still together.
That's the type of updates that you can expect from us. I mean,
Catherine and Sean are together and have 3 kids.
I know. Okay, well, to be fair, I thought you were going to tell me that he was announcing their divorce.
Okay, so
I was about to lose my.
Look at this video.
mind.
So that's why I ended up watching this too, because like I'm like fine on him, but I'm not like thinking. This is like the still frame of the video. Does that not look like they're sitting down to announce that they're divorcing?
It absolutely.
And the caption is like, our family has been through it the last few days, but we'll be okay. And they turn the comments off probably because they don't want people like commenting like, how could you get rid of the dog? And
Right.
So I thought they were divorcing too. So, I mean, not to say I was relieved that he got attacked by a dog, but like I was like worried it was something else.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Oh my God. Well, I'm glad he's okay.
Yeah.
That's awful. That's really terrible. I'm glad that like everyone is okay, at least on some level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Sorry.
On that note, we'll be chatting to you next week. Join us on Instagram. Can I steal you for a minute pod? We are well over 2,000.
Yeah, we did it. Thank you guys.
Yes, thank you all. And hopefully we can keep up the momentum. I mean, obviously things have slowed down since Love is Blind ended. That's like always the pot of gold. because there's just so many people watch that show and there's such good engagement for that. But, you know, tell a friend, spread the word, all the good things.
Yeah. And let us know if there's something we should watch next, because we're going to have a gap coming up.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe we'll put up some like stuff in our stories for when we do these recap episodes, or like what's going on now, like who you want us to talk about, like who you want updates on and stuff like that. Because we'll get all the good details.
We'll go deep diving. Yeah.
We will.
I'll be on TikTok.
Yes, Mary will be doing the TikTok sleuthing for the podcast, which I appreciate more than you know, because I cannot go there.
It's terrible for my brain, but I love you guys.
It's for you.
It's all
listener.
for you guys.
Okay, and with that, we will talk to you next week.
Yay.
Love you so much.
Yay.
Cheers,
Cheers,
Thanks for listening to Can I Steal You for a Minute? Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and if you like the show, please leave a rating and review. Follow us on social media at Can I Steal You for a Minute Pod, and support the show through Patreon at patreon.com/Can I Steal You for a Minute.